Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at The Lost Hero, Chapter 37, Jason. Now, this chapter starts off with Jason having a little bit of a pity party, if you remember that word. He's kind of thinking how it's so sad that his mom was so terrible and that he just met his sister and then he just lost his sister, and he's just kind of feeling sorry for himself. But he's also really worried about Leo too, because Leo almost became on fire. And so he's kind of wondering if Leo can control his power. And then also, Jason's really worried about what Leo said about Jason being a bridge between the gods and the Half-Bloods, or maybe between the Half-Bloods and the Half-Bloods. He doesn't know, but he just feels a lot of pressure, and he doesn't like that feeling. Well, they're walking into this gigantic house or castle or mansion, and it's just really, really big. And there's a huge yard, and Coach Hedge goes and starts eating the grass while the other kids go inside the house. And there's just so much going on. There's big doors, and it's just, whoa, really, really impressive. When they get inside the place, they meet a wind spirit, and she's a very gentle wind spirit. And Jason starts, he asks her, like, oh, are you a ghost? Because he can see through her body. And when Jason asks, are you a ghost? She feels so shocked. It's like asking someone, I don't know. Imagine if you're American and then someone says, are you Russian? Or maybe you're Japanese, and someone asks, are you Chinese? Or maybe you're Korean, and someone asks, are you from Vietnam? Right? You'd feel this kind of feeling, right? But anyone would, right? If you're Russian and someone asked if you were American, you might feel something like that. But so this spirit, she feels kind of shocked that Jason would ask her that terrible question. Luckily, Piper says, oh, he was just wondering if you were Helen of Troy. And in the Greek stories, Helen of Troy is the most beautiful woman that ever lived. And so, well, Piper's so clever. So Piper's saying, like, oh, you're so beautiful. Jason thought that you were Helen of Troy, and maybe you were her ghost. And so then the wind spirit's like, ooh, thank you. And we can see that at the end too. Well, so they get inside, and inside the palace is a little bit like, I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter. Like when Harry Potter first goes into like the wizard, the department of magic, I think, and there's all sorts of magic things going on, and little papers are flying, and it's just really kind of magical in that place. That's how Jason kind of feels in this place. There are paper airplanes flying through the air and stopping. Someone reads them, and then he throws it in the air, and it folds back and goes, and just people are floating around, and it's pretty crazy. Well, Jason already met the aura, and he sees some other ones, and then they see this really ugly, old kind of lady with like human arms, and then chicken legs, and then really big wings. And this is a harpy, and harpies are really ugly. Usually they're very bad creatures in stories, but this one at least seems to be okay. Maybe we'll find out more information about him. But then they just kind of see all this stuff. Though the spirit that they talk to, I can't remember her name, But she starts to take Jason and Piper and Leo to go see Aurealis right now. And so they're just walking, and they're just about ready to go meet and talk to this guy. And that is how the chapter ends. So, vocabulary. This was a pretty short chapter. I didn't see a lot of vocabulary words. The first one is mused. Mused is kind of a way of like enjoying talking, and just kind of thinking about something like, oh, yeah, I could do that. Just kind of this enjoying thinking about something that might not happen. Okay? And so the wind spirit, she kind of muses, oh, yeah, I guess it's probably okay to do this, or something like that. She just kind of thinking freely and enjoying that kind of thought. Another one is a hairnet. If I say the word hairnet, you can probably understand it. But reading it, maybe you thought it was a little bit different. But usually in a restaurant, if someone has long hair, I don't have this problem, but they have to wear a net over their head so their hair doesn't fall out into the food. And I think the harpy is wearing a hairnet. She does not look pretty. A discussion question I have for you. What is the best compliment you have ever gotten or you have ever received? Okay, so Piper tells this wind spirit, oh, you look like Helena Troy. And then at the end, she's talking about harpies, and the harpies are kind of violent wind spirits, but she says auras are gentle wind spirits. And so she's kind of looking at him, and then she bats her eyelashes. Oh, sorry, can you see that through the glasses? And Jason's just kind of like, oh, thank you, okay. Well, what is the best compliment you have ever gotten? What someone said about you that you were just like, whoa, thanks. I really appreciate that. And then, of course, I would like you to make your own discussion question. If you have vocabulary questions or questions about the story, that's great. We want to hear those questions. But I also want to hear what you're thinking about as you read the story. Was there something that gave you a question that you wanted to ask other students? That is the question we want to hear. Put it in the comments in the YouTube video so that way we can reply to it or have time to prepare to reply to it. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.